I had a chance to interview WNBA legend Tina Thompson and current Utah Jazz swingman Gordon Hayward. Here are some of the portions of that interview.
I can't believe you guys are here. It's fantastic to have you guys here in the Philippines. Before coming here, do you guys know how big basketball was in the country? And are you surprised to see that, you know, the NBA in particular is almost like a religion here in the Philippines?
I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. Just on the briefing that we got when we were coming over here and on the plane and stuff, they told us you guys were really energetic, passionate about the game, and didn't know what to expect, but definitely it was true. I mean, we coming over just the van ride over here, we saw some basketball goals in some back alleys, and you guys are definitely passionate about it, so that's cool to see.
Tina, how about you?
And compared to what I actually witnessed and just the passion that, you know, the Philippines has for just basketball, like everything basketball, so it's really cool to see.
When you go up against, you know, big names, you know, you had a matchup against Kobe Bryant and you took him to school almost. You actually outscored him in that game in LA. I think it was your rookie year or your second year. I can't remember which one. I remember it. And is there something about you going up against, you know, against one of the best players that kind of drives you to lift up your game level?
I think so. I mean, you want to always compete against the best in the world, and so anytime you get to, you know, play against LeBron or Kevin Durant or Kobe Bryant, any guy, you want to bring it your best, and you want to try to prove to them that you belong and kind of gain some respect from those guys. So I love playing against them.
I want to ask you about the NBA playoffs. I mean, we're looking at the playoffs that's really weird right now. The Atlanta Hawks, who accidentally made it to the playoffs, are now on the verge of, you know, doing something that hasn't been done that much. A number 8 seed upsetting a team that was supposed to be contending against the Heat in the Indiana Pacers. Now, is this more of Indiana not playing up to where they're supposed to be, or the Atlanta Hawks playing above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing?
Well, I mean, it's the playoffs, so for one, anything can happen. When you make it in, it's first team to win 4 games. So and Atlanta's going to play like they belong there. And honestly, this year in the NBA, it's been so wide open. There really hasn't been one dominant team who's kind of moved themselves away from the pack. So it's interesting to watch, and you know, I'm a fan just like you guys are with this, and I'm kind of curious to see how it ends out.
Tina, how about you?
Well, I think that this is the first time in a long time that from a matchup perspective, the lower seeds have been favorable matchups against the higher seeds. I mean, Atlanta fared very well against Indiana, you know, in the regular season. I mean, and they played well with them. It was always tough games, and in all the games that they played. And the same thing, you look at it with Houston and in Portland. Like those games like went down to the wire, and although Houston is the higher seed and they had home court advantage, you know, Portland is kind of taking their game to another level. So it's very weird in a sense that, you know, even though they're higher seeds, the matchups have been favorable to the lower seeds.
Do you think the bright lights of a big city or a big market is something that you want a taste of a little bit?
I don't really know. I don't really know what.
It's a trick question.
I mean, NBA is a business, you know, so whatever happens is going to happen for me and my future in the league, and Utah's been great for me so far. It was an easy transition from Indianapolis, which is kind of also a smaller market and smaller city, and it was an easy adjustment for me. So wherever I go next, I'll be excited and ready to play for their team.
And that's the reason why I asked that transition, because coming from Butler, who's, you know, kind of under the radar when it comes to the NCAA, and then you went to Utah, which is a smaller market team. It kind of sort of fits, but that's you know, so moving perhaps to a bigger market. Is that a transition that's, you think might be a little bit of a problem or
Well, I think it would have been more of a problem right when I got drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was been 20 years old and on my own, and living in a big city would have been pretty nerve-wracking, honestly, pretty stressful, and I wouldn't have had anybody with me. So I think the adjustment to Utah wasn't too bad for me, and it was something that I enjoyed.
I know you've seen Tina Thompson play hoops. If there was a person in the NBA that you kind of think, oh, this guy kind of plays like Tina Thompson, who would it be? Which NBA superstar would that be?
Man, she's kind of in a league like on her own. Like, you put off a resume here and like it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that I mean, to be the #1 pick in the first ever draft, that's like legendary status. So
to win gold, to win WNBA
everything that you said is like,
it's...
after you introduce her, like, you don't even bother introducing me. She's like,
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that.
I'm like way older.
When you watch Gordon play, does he remind you of any legend, any superstar that you've seen play through the years?
I don't know about legend, but I would probably say most recently Elena Deladon. I don't know how familiar you are with him, but their games, in my opinion, are very similar because of their size and versatility.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of everything really well. So if I had to pick one WNBA player, it would probably be Elena.
Getting the touch, the hesitation, and bucket from